Welcome to Elliott's PT podcast. I'm here to help you find your balance and live your best life guilt-free. I don't believe there is a one-size-fits-all approach for health and fitness. We're all different and we need to find out what works for us. I'm passionate about helping people make realistic, long-term lifestyle changes that they will stick to and they will take with them forever. I don't believe in crazy diets or short-term fixes. We all need to live and find a perfect balance in diet and exercise that suits our individual needs. I want to help you find your exercise mojo, feel great and achieve wonderful things. Here is Elliott's PT podcast by Renae Elliott. Hello, and welcome back to Elliott's PT podcast. So today I want to talk about how to manage the weekend when tracking. So lots of people feel like they do really well during the week and then they hit the weekend and then everything goes out the window. But I asked you to just think, if this is you, if something that you've done in the past, if you're starting something new, I ask you to just really rethink how you view the weekend. For me, I find the weekend easier, so I get so surprised that so many people get stuck when it comes to the weekend, or they find it the thing that I guess lets them down, every week. They feel like, they're not doing it right. But really for me, I find the weekend easier. So I first asked you to just think, what is your approach to the weekend? How do you view? So if you're prepping your food, do you prep just from Monday to Friday? But why can't you treat the weekend just the same as you treat a weekday? For me, I find it easier to eat my food or to plan it on the weekend because I have more time. Now, obviously everyone's different. There's people that work on weekends. My husband works on a Sunday, all of those things. But I find the weekend easier. So I really love the weekend because I don't have any time specifically that I have to be anywhere. So I can spend a little bit more time cooking. I always like to make a nice breakfast. I like to be a bit more creative with things that I'm cooking because I do have that bit more time than what I do during the week. And in a normal weekday, in the evenings we might have, after school we might have different sports or different things, activities that the kids are doing, so we might be getting home late. So it's kind of like, right, luckily I have something prepared to get it out, but where on the weekend I can take that bit, that bit more time in cooking something. So I actually love it. I don't find it a problem. I find it easier. I also find the weekend easier to manage with exercise because, again, I have a bit more flexibility with time. I'm not restricted to anything that I need to be kind of doing. Obviously, we have kids' sport and things like that. But so I actually find the weekend a lot easier. So my top tips for if you feel like you struggle with the weekend is to have a plan. So have a plan and give yourself a little bit of structure. I would try to treat the weekend like you do the weekday. I would try to make sure that you are still planning your food, tracking your food out the night before, and those types of things. So you've still got the same, but really think how you view the weekend. If you're going to continually be viewing it I can never, if you're saying things like I can never track on the weekend or I always blow it out every weekend, then you're going to continue to do that because you're talking that way. But if you change the way you speak and you say, actually, I find I'm going to really spend a little bit more time on my food this weekend. I might try something new, or something like that, or think about how you speak about it. It will change. It doesn't have to be that big stumbling block that everyone finds it. I find the weekend so much easier than during the week. So for me personally, if you can manage your food during the week, the weekend I think it's a no-brainer. But it's just think about how you talk about it, and make sure you have a plan. Plan it in the same way that you do the week, that you would during the weekend, and follow that through. Obviously, if the weekends tend to have more social events or more things out, but just become aware of that. So become aware of, we're going here. So sometimes you can plan your food around what you're doing. If you know that you've got quite a few social occasions on, then you can make choices with your food that is going to align with your goals. So it might be that you might look at the menu before you're going out. You might, sometimes depending on what I'm doing, I might eat before I go out, because then I'm not going to eat as much food when I go out, because as I keep saying, I value how I feel, and I know that, I know the food that irritates my stomach, I know those types of things, so I would know if I have it at home, then I know I'm going to be fine. There's also other times I just go, well, stuff it, let's have a nice time and don't worry about it. So it just depends on, it really just depends on what you're wanting to achieve, and I guess the time frame that you're looking to achieve it. But you can make choices like that if it's, you're going to events, and you can always make choices with alcohol, and really think about, like, for me, I like to have a drink, but through time I really only like having 1 or 2 drinks. I don't like any more than that. I don't like having any more drinks, and that makes me feel, so it doesn't bother me to only have 1 drink, to 1 or 2 drinks. So you could possibly say, well, I know that if I drive, it seems to be that if you're driving, people kind of leave you alone and to not push drinking down you. So you could say, you could choose to drive, you could choose to have a drink and not worry about it. You can just make choices. And well, for me, like, if I don't enjoy being drunk, so if I drink vodka and soda, I would prefer just to have a soda because I don't really need that vodka in it, and I don't, so for me, I would just have a soda. It doesn't bother me that much. But if you really like it, but then I started loving espresso martinis, and I was having them, and it was like I found a drink. I could have 1 drink and I could sip. I found that to be a drink that I could sip the whole night, and I could still drive home, and but then I've worked out that the coffee kept me awake. So everything's through trial and error. So I really think about how you view the weekend. You can make choices. You can make choices on, and the other thing is that if every weekend you have event after event after event, you've got different things on, and you really have this goal you want to achieve, then just make a choice. What's more important to you? Be like, well, I really want to achieve this goal, so I just need to choose how to treat these occasions a bit differently. Or maybe go, for the moment, I've got these things coming up on the weekends and I'm busy for the next month, and that's okay. I'm just going to aim to do the best that I can over this time, because I've got all these events on and I really, really want to celebrate these events, and that's fine too, because it's all about living your lifestyle. But I think when you understand it more and you take that pressure off and you be okay with, like, I'm not going to put myself under pressure. I'm not going to put myself under more stress, because you've got all these events on. Well, enjoy the events, make informed choices, make choices on food that is going to work for you. But don't beat yourself up. Enjoy the time and move on. But I personally don't struggle with the weekend. I find the weekend easier, and I just ask you to really think about, if you tweak your thinking and start to think that way, will it make a bit of a difference for you? The other thing is, you can be like, well, I know I've got these things on, I'm going to make sure I get a nice walk in, or I'm going to be in the car for a few hours, so I'm going to be really sedentary, but I'm going to make sure I get up and I get a walk first before we go for the drive, or when we get there, we get to the location, I'm going to also drive. So just think about it. I don't know, I move more on the weekends as well. We're quite active, so my activity level during the week and the weekends is more. I find it easier to exercise. Sometimes on the weekend I might get a run in, I might get yoga in, I might also get a weighted session in on a Saturday. I might get all 3 in because I have that bit more time. Don't do them all at the same time, but if you spread it throughout the day. So I like I said, I find it easier than what I do during the week. So the weekend does not have to be your downfall. It doesn't have to be the thing that trips you up. I think just really think about how you view it and look at having a plan. A plan is the key. So I know I'm going here, as well. Sometimes when we go away we might go away. We generally always get an apartment, and I take food because I know the food that makes me feel good, and I don't want to be eating out for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So that's a conscious choice that we make because that works for us better. So and make that choice on what's going to work best for you. But when you sit and you have a plan, the weekend doesn't have to be the thing that you always stumble across and then you go, oh, well, I'll just start again Monday. No, just have a bit of a plan, work out what works for you, and trial different things over time, and you'll come to a solution. How I treat things now compared to how I treated things 10 years ago, it's completely different. But I've trialed different things back and forth, and I've worked out what works for me best, and that's what I apply. So just rethink about how you think about the weekend, and it definitely doesn't have to be the thing that lets you down. Thanks for listening to the Elliott's PT podcast. I hope you have been able to find this information of use to you. If you know someone who might enjoy this podcast, please share it with them and ensure that you subscribe so you can be the first to know when new podcasts are released. If you have the time to leave a 5-star review, that would be amazing, and it would be greatly appreciated. If you do so, please screenshot and share onto any of our socials and tag us. Then email the screenshot to hello@elliotspt.com and we will send you a free gift to your inbox. Thanks so much. Have an amazing day. Speak soon.